Hello and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today's band come from Greece, and to be honest, it has been quite a few years since the last time I heard Enshadowed. Actually, it was 2003 with their second album, Intensity, the last time I probably heard this band, and since that, all been blacked out. Now, there was one album in between, but totally went out of the radar. Well, there are too many albums to check out and all that stuff. But here we have now the new album called Stare into the Abyss, this time released by Odium Records. This one is nice looking digipack with kind of a glossy cover. As you can see, it's pretty much reflecting everything here. So try to figure out what to have. For example, here we have this lineup information, recording information, obviously the track list, and the rather abyssic cover, sort of vortex, I guess. And, well, inside we'll find lyrics, obviously the CD tray and more lyrics. Not really readable via this video because, well, reflection is a bitch sometimes. Let's take a look at the Metal Archive site so you can get the basic information about the band while I'll tell you a little bit about the actual music. Now, as you can see, this band is quite old, already founded in late 90s, and soon after a couple of demos the band pretty quickly came up with a couple of albums, and so I started with this Intensity in 2003. This here says it's roughly some 60% an album on average, but I would say it's roughly 8 out of 10. I mean, that's anyway what I wrote back in the days, 17 years ago. So very, very different opinion in that respect. And back in the days, the album and the band, of course, was more about kind of a Americanized death metal meeting with black metal. But now, with this 2020 release, it's very, very different. This 35 minutes of an album is actually more like melodic, fast tempo black metal. So not exactly the most original band out there, but then again, I mean, who cares if the music is good? And fortunately for all of us, the music is actually quite good. Now, it's basically all the way through this same pattern. You have these melodic riffs, you have this fast tempo, and you have this kind of a dark, a little bit maybe even melancholic atmosphere. Maybe not truly melancholic, but still it's kind of looming out there. So one could even say this is kind of a North European thing. Not only Nordic countries, not purely Finnish or anything like that, but I would say even some kind of a Polish feeling is very much present with this music. And as such, really can't complain. I mean, you know, when you have these kind of a Greek background then combined with more like Polish and Finnish melancholy and melodics, then you have this kind of interesting combination, which actually works quite nicely. Now, the only problem with this album basically is, because I mean the production is good and the songwriting is solid, is that it's not really that diverse. There's very little versatility in these songs. Like basically if you have heard like a couple of songs, you know what to expect from the rest. And that is a good side, of course, if you just happen to like those two songs, because then you're in for a treat. Then again, vice versa, if you just dislike a couple of tracks, it's not going to change your mind with the rest of the tracks. Luckily, being 35 minutes, it doesn't bore you, because, I mean, it's finished before you kind of notice, and then you're like, okay, let's give it another spin and another one, and there you have it. So overall, quite solid release overall. Not the album of the year material in my opinion, but still very, very nice, let's say decent plus kind of album. Very close to being really good. So goodish, definitely great, maybe not. Anyway, you will find the description box having those links, so go to listen for yourself and figure out whether or not Enshadowed 2020 edition is your cup of tea or not. With these words, bye-bye, and see you soon with more reviews coming your way.